Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay, that's little Rose back there, and this is Coloring Bliss. And today, this video is brought to you by you. You requested that I do this follow-up video on the Color Change Doodle Markers by Crayola. So here we are today, we are ready to take on the challenge. Can I make these color changing markers do what I want them to do on a coloring page? That is what we're going to find out today in this video. Now, I highly recommend you check out the video where I unboxed and first swatched these really interesting markers to see what they do when they overlap with each other. We get a third color from these magical, bewitching markers. So it should be lots of fun today to see what I can create with these markers. Now I must confess, I decided to practice a little bit before doing this video because I was legitimately worried that I wouldn't be able to do anything other than some cool doodly type coloring. So let me show you what I created as I practiced with these Crayola markers. All right, this is the book that I have been practicing in, and it's printed on our Bliss marker paper. One of the cool things about ordering a coloring book from Coloring Bliss is that you can have it printed on a variety of high quality, amazing papers that make your coloring easier and turn out better than what you could have imagined using just standard coloring paper. So this one I had printed on marker paper, and I've been coloring in it for quite a while, and it's starting to get full. So let me show you. This is the page I thought we would color together, and I'm going to explain why I picked this one here in just a second, especially as you start to see what I did with my practicing here. So this was all done with the Crayola Color-Change Doodle Markers. That's these ones right here. And I didn't use anything other than these markers to create these effects. So let me bring it up a little bit closer to camera so that you can see some of the areas where we have some color changing going on. Like here, there's 3 different colors going on in these little illustrative lines, and I think it looks really cool. It's like a built-in shadow that happens when you overlap these particular markers. In the lettering, I used only one pen to do all of the words. So there was a purple end, there was a peach end, and then when they combined together you got this darker pinky color, and I used it to the best benefit I could figure out. So you got 3 different colors here in these letters, and then I used it to create sort of a shadow inside the lettering on these letters here. Really pleased with how that turned out. Some of it was a little bit tricky, like right here. Those little lines I added in the middle to kind of give shading to the center of the flower. I discovered really quickly that if you don't hold the pen just right, you can get a really sort of clumsy thick line, and what I was really after was a thinner line like these here. So I learned from this page that how you hold your marker is really important with these chisel nibs that are on these color change markers. Okay, there's one more that I wanted to practice because I felt like this was good, just basic practice, and then I wanted to do an actual page where there were things that had to be certain colors, like these ladybugs really needed to be red. There's cute little ladybugs all over this little coloring page. And then I wanted, for instance, to have it feel more like there was a color scheme going on, although it's still just a whole hodgepodge of color, but I tried to make a mother or dominant color using the flowers and the lettering as my dominant colors. And it's this one pen does these 3 colors. You get this blue-green color, this really bright fuchsia magenta type color, and then a blue-violet color when they combine. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. They are just Crayola markers. And so you can see on the background here, I struggled with getting like little stripes or lines where you overlap your strokes with the marker. And so I had fun just adding texture into it, those 3 little dots. lots of different colors of 3 little dots, and I was able to get those tiny little dots using the chisel tip, and I was quite pleased with how I could make those cute little dots in various places. So we'll be playing around with that. One thing I really hated about what happened here on this page was I was going for a darker green here on the edge of the leaf, and it looks just sort of like a muddy orangey weird color. So that's one thing that I didn't like about how the colors combined and mixed. So we'll have to try to improve on that as we go into our third coloring page that I'm going to do with all of you. So let me flip back to the page I selected. And the reason I picked this one is because I learned from the other 2 pages that having different like doodly type textures inside the illustrations worked to my favor. I was able to do some overlapping and get some cool effects, and it was a lot of fun. So that really speaks to the properties of my tool. So I think that's why I am being drawn to this particular page. Now I'm afraid that it's going to turn out kind of like the other page where it's just a hodgepodge of colors, not necessarily a color scheme that's planned, and because I want to use as many of the colors as possible. So speaking of that, let me show you one more time here the swatch chart that we created. So you can see that these 3 swatches right here represent 1 pen, and you get these 3 colors. Here's a 2nd pen, 3rd pen, 4th pen, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th pen. So those are the kinds of colors I have to work with. Lots of really bright mid-tone colors. So this page is just going to end up being an explosion of fun Crayola color, and I'm kind of okay with that. Ever so often it's fun to not have to have a color scheme, not have a plan, just dive in and just have fun with colors. And what better product than Crayola to just dive in and have fun with, right? I wanted to mention again that we are not sponsored by Crayola. I purchased this set of markers with my own money. Let's see, it was at Target for only $9.99 here in the United States. That's in July 2023. So if you want to pick up some of these, I'll put a link to it that takes you to Amazon, or check out your local stores and see if you can find it there in your local area. Okay, so enough talking. Let's dive in on this coloring page. I'm going to think for a minute and at least kind of get a color plan. For instance, on this coloring page we have some greenery leaves and stems, and I probably want to try to make those all look like they're in the same world, but we have lots of different colorful aspects like these 3 different flowers and this kind of cool border here with the design in it. Do I want to try to have a mother color? I can't help it. I like to plan out my colors. Okay, part of the color challenge, Jennifer, now is to just dive in and have fun and don't be quite so planny. We'll save planning for another video. Okay? All right, so let's start. Just dive in, Jennifer. I think I'm going to start with this border. It's kind of a dominant part of this illustration, and I think it would be a good place to begin. So maybe my eyes went straight to this line right here. I could have a color combination like this would look really pretty, I think. So that's the yellow, this one at the top, this pen right here. So I think that's where I'm going to begin, and because this is my marker paper, we should get some very smooth strokes and not have any problem with bleed through. So especially where this is a water-based marker that we're playing with. And I think what we'll do is just dive, Jennifer. Don't overthink. So we'll start with pink here on this part of the illustration. These sort of striped bars. Okay. Let's do a few of them. One thing I love about markers is how fast you can lay down color and get whole sections completed without a lot of effort. With color pencils, which is what I'm normally used to, it takes a lot of effort to get one little area done. Okay, then we'll color in. The other thing I learned with my practice pages is that you can get a little cross-contamination when you're going back and forth between the nibs, so you have to be a little bit careful about that, or just accept that that might happen. So for instance, now that I'm coming in here like this and adding some shading here, that's that third color we get with the magic of the color change. So fun. And then I want to take and let's leave the pink closest here, and then we'll add a line like that. Okay, I'm liking this. Let me bring it up closer to camera here as soon as I do this little part. I'll show you how that looks. All right, that's the first step. I'm going to repeat what I just did across this whole part of the illustration, and I will be back. Time lapse. Alright, we've got our first biggest section of the coloring page done. Love these colors, they're so delicious together. And I added the yellow, I filled in the yellow dots down here and added some pink triple dots just to add to that background type area. Might add more later. We'll see how I feel about it. Okay, now I think the greenery we should address. Green is a little tricky with these markers. You can either combine a couple together to create green, or we have this forest green here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the forest green, because then, let's see, I think it's this pen right here. I'll put this one to the side so I remember which one I used. Then if I want to, I could do kind of an orange in it, but oh, now that I say that, I think that's what I did on that other coloring page I showed you, and I was really unhappy with what it did. I'm willing to try again. So let's try, like we've got, oh, I don't know, because we could do this one here and create this lime. I think I might do that, but then I have to color everything twice. But it could be a blue and a green stripe. Ooh, I like that. Okay, aqua and orange. I think it's this one right here, and we'll do start with the blue and just color straight through here like this. Okay, and then using the orange side, we'll just color every other stripe using orange, but it will turn to that green color. Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of these leaves that way with this same combination to kind of give it some cohesive. I think that's what I want to do. We have different flowers, so we could do different greenery. And we have different ways of making green. Let's see now. I want this to be all green. This part right here. Whoa. So we'll color it blue first and then go over it with the orange. Which doesn't take long to do two colors like that. I think it's fine. Maybe we'll do different greens. We've got them. Why not use them, right? We'll do this big flower with the forest green. Good. And if we do a combo green on this, we're going to end up with orange stripes. Maybe what we'll do is the orange up the middle. I should have colored this direction so that the streaks it's creating would have been with the stripe. Oh well, we'll do it better here. Rose is snoring over there. Okay, now we'll take the yellow and color the little dots up the center. Get that orange. Look how vibrant that orange is. It's so crazy that it was that dark green and now it's that vibrant. So cool. Okay, and then let's do like every 1, 2, 3rd stripe. Orange, 1, 2, so that overall it'll be green. 1, 2 stripe. 1, 2 stripe. 1, 2 stripe. What do we think? Okay, right here now. Try to do the 1, 2, the stripe straight across from the other stripe. 1, 2 stripe. 2 stripe. 2 stripe. Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. It feels fun. It's just not exactly a green leaf, but that's okay. We're embracing this, right? Okay, so I think I'm going to keep with the theme here and do a different kind of green for all of this. And we've got this one here that's cherry on one side and blue on the other, and then it turns green. So I think what I'll do is I'll color everything with this blue like we did here, and then come in with the red to create my green in different spots. So we'll start with the blue. Okay, and then we have all of this here, which I want to fill in. I think what I'll do is fast forward, and we'll come back when I start adding the red to create the color change. Having this blue next to this bird makes me want to do a blue bird, but we'll see when we get to that part what I'm feeling like. Okay, now we're going to come up the stem, and we should get a nice deep green. As the color changing magic happens. Look at that green. That's so cool. And again, we want the leaf to be mostly green, so we'll color in 2 stripes like that, and then leave 1 blue. Okay. This one, the color changes a little slower, and it's making me nervous every time. I'm like, no, it's staying red, but then it changes to the green. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more leaves to go. Let's time lapse. Okay, so we have 3 different kinds of green going on, which I'm pretty happy about the way that turned out. Pretty cool. Now for the flowers. I'm thinking the butterfly, we will do the same colors that we did down here with our border, just to have a little cohesive feeling, a little balance to our layout. And I might do these 2, or should I do, ooh, what if I do the bird and the butterfly with the same colors as what we did this border? I like that. That will give some real balance to the layout of this page. Okay, so let's see. How do I want to do? I want to use yellow, red, and I guess the little body should be red. Let me zoom down a bit so you can watch me do this little. Okay, and then we want to have some spots that are just pink. Let's do pink here. And pink here. Okay, and then using the yellow, we'll fill in the dots to create red. It really, you really got to think ahead. Like, if I wanted these dots to be yellow, I would have to remember not to color them pink. Okay, let's do yellow here. And here. Ooh, Rose is barking in her sleep. And then make sure I got all the little spots. And let's make this stripe be red. Right there. Right there and right there. Okay. I'm going to kind of do the same thing that I just did to this butterfly to the bird and try to plan things out. Like, I know I want the head to be yellow and maybe the beak could be red. So we'll start with yellow. I'm going to time lapse this, and you can watch as I use just one marker to create this adorable little chick. So I think one of the things that I really like about these pens is that one pen can do so much. Like this whole bird was done with just one pen. So again, if you wanted to just throw these 8 markers into a coloring bag, you'd have a lot of options to work with. Like if you were at a office waiting for your turn for the doctor, you'd have a lot of colors to pick from that you could color with, all with just 8 markers. Okay, so we've used that marker. I feel like we've got some good composition going here with balancing this one marker used in 3 places. Now I want to use some of these other markers in the flowers. So let's take a look at what we have left that we haven't used. We haven't used this one down here. Maybe we'll make the tulip. We'll use the tulip for this one. So we'll start with, I think I want the main egg to be, I was thinking about the egg. I want the main tulip to be this vanilla color. So we'll color all of this with vanilla. And then using the back side, the blue, we'll turn this into, should turn yellow. Or it was a chartreuse, so a yellowy green color. Okay, I don't know if I like that. Now we'll use just the plain blue. Oh, some of the vanilla color got up past that line as I was coloring, so we have chartreuse up where I didn't plan on chartreuse being. Well, that's alright, we're going to embrace it. And what we'll do is little dots. All over this to create chartreuse dots, like that. Oh, that's fun. Okay, then we have this little part here, which maybe we'll do mostly vanilla, and then bring in the chartreuse, like that. And then we'll do blue out here. Alright, the tulip is done. So we have these 3 markers left. I think we'll use this marker on this flower right here. And the colors we have for this marker are over here. Purple, salmon, and peach. Those will be really pretty on there. Let's start, I think I want most of it to be purple. So we'll start coloring in here with purple, and then we'll start the color magic. Time lapse. Okay, some of my coloring was a little bit messy, so I was already getting some of this salmon color mixed in with my purple, so I decided to embrace it. It's not a mistake, it's an opportunity. So I'm doing some stippling on the edge to hide where I made my mistakes. and I like it. It's giving it some really cool texture. And the purple I was feeling like was really too dark for the rest of the coloring page. So leaning into this salmon magic color I think is working really well. Okay, and then these little dots, we'll make them salmon as well with that magic combination. Like that. All right, another marker represented on my coloring page. This is a very vibrant coloring page. Okay, we have 2 markers left. This one, I believe, is this marker right here. And then we have this marker right here. So one needs to be for the flowers and one for the egg. And I think this one will lend itself well to the flowers. It's got purple in it, which will kind of mirror the other purple I just did. And then this one can have green, eggplant, and sky color mixed into the egg. And then I have used every marker on this page. I like that. Okay, so I think we will do, just dive in, Jennifer, don't overthink it. And save the middle for the green, the blue-green. So we'll come in here like this, use the blue-green to change that to our blue-violet color, and do blue-green in the middle. So that means I want that to be the blue-violet too. So we can color this. It's quite a color puzzle figuring out where to put the colors at the right time so you get the right magic effect. And we'll see if we can tell the difference here. These are pretty strong colors and not a lot of contrast between the blue-violet and our blue-green color. But I think I like it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to repeat what I just did right up here in this flower, and then we'll come back together and work on the egg. Okay, last part of this illustration and our last marker. This one does that spring green, that crazy green, so I need to be ready for that. And let's see how Miss Rose is doing here. What you doing? Can you shake? I'll get you a treat. Shake? Shake? Yeah, I thought so. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, let's color this egg. Alright, so we have sky, spring green, and eggplant that this egg is going to be. So let's see what we do with these combinations. Coloring the last part here of the egg, and I'm loving how it changes to green. It's so cool. Love that color change. It's so dramatic. I made a few mistakes where my coloring goes out of the lines, like right here. Let me see if I can show you better this direction. Right here. So I'm hoping from afar it looks the way I want it to look. Now we've got this little stripe right here, which I think would look good purple. These are 3 colors I don't usually put together, so it's kind of fun to see them doing things and using them. And then I think we'll go add our own little extras here. Just to give it some texture to distract the eye from my mistakes. Cool. All right. That egg really stands out, but it kind of works with these other greenery that I have mixed in here. It is a very bright and vibrant coloring page. Let me back up. Very bright, and I'm going to write right here next to the egg, Crayola Color-Change Challenge. And for me, it's July 11th, 2023. There. Now I'll always remember that I used all 8 markers to create this page. Look how cool it turned out. What's your favorite part of this page? I have a favorite part. I'll tell you what it is here in just a second after you have a minute to look at the completed coloring page. My favorite part is this one right here, and that stippling happened because of a mistake, but yet it's my favorite part of this whole coloring page. So remember, if you ever make a mistake, try to find a way to work with it, because sometimes those mistakes turn out to be the best part of your coloring page. All right, Steve just walked in and I want to show him what we created with the color change markers. So come on over, Steve, and check out this.
Oh, wow. I love how bright that is.
I embraced all the markers, so each marker is represented on this page. All 24 colors are represented here.
Wow.
So what's your favorite part of the page? I already said what my favorite part was.
The area that keeps drawing me in is this one. I love that one, and I love that flower. That's
cool.
Really pretty.
That's kind of my least favorite, so I'm glad you like it. It's, I guess it really is your colors, the blue in it and the green.
Yeah, I guess maybe, yeah.
Yep, and
But
this one here.
That just kept catching my attention for sure, that little
this
flower
one here,
and butterfly, yeah.
This one here, I made mistakes with the coloring, and I had to hide my mistakes, so I added the stippling, and I think it's my favorite part of the whole page.
Wow.
So I'm glad
Very
you like
good.
it.
Oh, that's fun.
So I want to say thank you to all of you for giving me this coloring challenge. I know it was my idea, but I wouldn't have done it if you guys hadn't gotten on board and encouraged me to do this, because it was tricky, and it's not my, I don't love water-based markers for coloring like this, and the color changing made me really nervous, but now I have 3 whole pages done in this book, and I love how it turned out. It was a great mental exercise, and I had a lot of fun. It's definitely lends itself to just vibrant colors, just letting loose with your vibrant colors. That's what this has taught me to do with these color change markers. Alright, so don't forget I put links to this product in the video description in case you're interested in picking them up and trying this challenge as well. If you do decide to take on this color change challenge, make sure you post your pictures in our Facebook group. There's a link to it in the video description. And make sure you put on the description of your post that this was your color change challenge, because I would love to see what you do with these markers. So much fun. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye!